Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Come next month, I'll be kind of finalizing my plans to probably spend, I don't know, at least 3 months probably this year in Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah. And try to make it more and more.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I think so.
Very exciting. It's a whole different way of life.
It's such a different way of life. Yeah.
Do you find it's becoming part of who you are?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I definitely think about it every day, all the things that I feel like I'm missing that are over there in aplenty.
Good.
Yeah. A lot of it has to do with just, there's so many people and labor is so cheap that if you want anything done, you just put your hand up and somebody's there to do it for you. And I've never known any world like that, where every meal you want, any service you want is just kind of a shout away. And it's with a smile and, just nice, hardworking, generous people.
I was thinking of that as you were talking about the happiness, contentment, satisfaction level of a life like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of which, my experience or theirs?
Well, of being in a place of service, joyfully serving, people, and not having a lot of expectations on what's going to happen and things coming back to them and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it. I know what explains the differences other than difference in wealth, but I don't know. There's something about, I think, how much they do rely on their neighbors and their family and everything out of necessity. That is a real blessing, that they have really strong networks and everybody owns a business. Every single household is like a business. And it's very unregulated, and it's like there's no like, I mean, there's very few giant shops that sell everything. It's like these tiny shops that just sell one thing. And so when you want to do your grocery shopping or whatever, you end up going to 7 different shops to get one of everything. And the person really cares about that one thing that they're selling. You know, and it's, yeah, it's like you're hanging out with someone's family every time you just make a transaction. Their kids are there. It's their family business, and all the payments are like usually electronic. Everybody's just got the app, and there's something interesting. Even when you get like an Uber or whatever, it's not through Uber. It's some other kind of more private network, and you pay people privately, and you'll get their personal phone numbers when you get a ride from them, kind of thing. Yeah, there's just some kind of aspect of the family business side of things that I think is really healthy and yeah, good for people, really.
Well, very nice.
Yeah. And when the shop's empty, they're playing with their children because their children are at the shop with them. And so you just walk by all these shops with families enjoying their time until you go and interrupt them and ask to buy something, and then they get back to their family life.
Right.
Anyway.
Wow. Oh, I like that.
I'll send pictures.
It was a lovely picture. And that was a lovely picture that you painted for me. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you. That's very, very, very nice.
Yeah. I just got to let go of the business and let go of, I'm going to have to make some compromises and just decide not to do a lot of things. And
what business are you letting go of? The rental?
Well, when I first said let go of it, I mean let go of my, controlling of it.
Control.
Not sell everything, but there are certainly opportunities I'll be giving up and just, okay, it is what it is, and I'm going to take this hit when I walk away, and that's fine.
Yeah. So much walking away as you are just creating space and not engaging with it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. Wow. And how is your Vietnamese coming along?
Pretty poorly.
I doubt it.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever even get to level 1, but I can interject occasionally in a conversation that I'm hearing.
Well, if you know what people are saying, that's a start.
Yeah.
And if you can sometimes answer in something that makes sense, that's good too.
Yep. Anyway, yeah. So do you feel up for trying to jump back in and either pick up on anything we left off on before, or do you want to just
Let's
go
do
wherever
that.
Okay. Do you like to have a minute of meditation before we start?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I'll set a timer.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you have any parts you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
Yes. Well, while I was having a moment of silence, I was sort of scanned myself, and lately I have restless leg syndrome, but it comes and goes. And so lately that has been really active, and it's been active in a way that I feel like there's something that is coming up around that. But also while I was sitting here and I was scanning myself, do you remember a few months ago? We were talking, and I had a garage full of boxes.
Yes.
Yes. So while I was scanning myself, those boxes were like bumping into each other and stuff, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So any part would be good to go to, and they all deserve your attention. So we can go wherever you like. You might kind of broadcast to the system that you'd like to meet someone and see who needs your attention the most.
I sort of feel like whatever is related around the restless leg,
Mm-hmm.
That's heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and it needs to say something.
Okay.
And I kind of get when I close my eyes and think about that, I kind of get an image of an elderly man
Mm-hmm.
with gray hair. I don't know. He's talking. I don't really know what he's saying though.
Okay. How do you feel towards that part?
Not necessarily drawn to it.
Uh-huh.
Kind of feel like I know it's there, but I kind of want to look away from it.
Mm-hmm. And is the look away, is that a concern, a fear, don't feel like I have time for this, or what kind of feels like it's drawing the look away?
Mm. I guess I just don't want to deal with it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And it is kind of behind like a partial wall, so it makes it easy to, have a separation.
Okay. Well, we can go anywhere you like, and we don't have to go anywhere you don't like.
Okay.
And also, if we do get to learn from a part, we also don't have to commit to doing anything about it. So, I try to just remain open and, come from a place of gathering data. And even if a part is really extreme or really sad or something, sometimes that's a way that I can maintain that distance of just curiosity, as opposed to I gotta fix something or do something with this. So I guess I'm just sending that message to any parts that have that concern that will need to take on some burden or obligation.
That was helpful.
Sometimes you can even maybe imagine yourself outside of a room and the man's inside the room, or you're looking through a telescope or something and talking through the phone where you have some space and some distance
Oh, okay.
just to observe.
Yeah, I don't feel interested in what he has to say.
Okay, that's fine. And how about the wall? Does the wall feel like another part?
Oh, let me see. That's a good question. Probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that part feels friendly.
Do you want to chat with it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we could just ask the wall part what it wants you to know about itself, or anything.
There's a sheet of like metal on the side where the guy is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm being shown that.
Okay.
That's the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to stay back there. He's kind of in like a little, it's not even a room. It's just a space.
Mm-hmm. So the metal's on his side for extra shielding on his side,
Mm-hmm.
but the part facing you is a little softer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could ask the wall why it does that. What's important about its role?
Well, it's the wall's job to put space between me and him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it must have a good reason. They all do.
Yes. I don't know if I'm going to get that reason.
Okay. Is the wall aware of you there? Is it aware of you
Mm-hmm.
and your curiosity about it?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, what's it afraid would happen if it didn't provide that barrier?
So I'm kind of getting like the impression of leaking out. So whatever is in that room with that person is leaking out
Mm-hmm.
without the wall.
Yeah. I know in the past we've heard from parts that see this work as kind of messy and they don't like having to clean up the mess.
Yes, that was what was coming. It was
Okay.
getting messy with the stuff leaking out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not sure what our resolution was in the past about that, or if you felt like you were okay with this amount of mess or less, or if the part's concerned about that, or had all had their concerns addressed to their satisfaction.
Well, the part that doesn't like messes, doesn't like cleaning them up,
Right.
would not be super pleased if this leaked all over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like he's starting to get the mops out already.
Okay. Well, again, there's no obligation to go there. I think in the big picture, the more we get to know parts, the less they kind of leak onto each other. That without our presence, they are pushing and pulling against each other. And when self gets to know them and brings them curiosity, compassion, then it can kind of create a space for each part so that it's kind of contained, but the space can be very big, but it has some separation from other parts. So that's kind of a overarching goal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be a messy process along the way. So I totally get it.
Yeah, well, it makes sense that that on their own, if there's a lot of mess, because there's, kind of like a food fight.
Right.
As opposed to, a conversation.
Mm-hmm. And the cleaner upper and the wall, what do they think about our little conversation here about, does that make sense to them that in theory we can convert a food fight into a conversation?
No, I kind of feel like they're sitting there looking at us, like just waiting for us to finish the conversation, but not really believing that, that it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like if you were waiting to give somebody a ride or something and they were in the middle of a conversation. You just had to wait for them to finish. That's what it's like.
Yeah. Because they're trying to go, huh? Trying to get away from this leaky part, huh?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. I would say it's your call. We can learn more about these parts and their concerns. We can negotiate with them. We can just ask them for 5 minutes anyway and see how they respond, or we can go an entirely different direction.
Okay, I did. I asked them if they knew of any parts that we could bring in. And in between them, there was a little part that came out of somebody's pocket.
Okay. And they're okay with you meeting that one?
Well, they're kind of showing it to me like in the hand, But that little part, of course, is in like a little pod or something.
Yeah, what do they want you to know about that?
Well, they have some concerns, I guess, about it. Because that little piece, that part is sad.
Yeah. Sounds important.
Yeah, so they keep it in the pocket because they don't know what to do with it. So they put it back in the pocket. But I asked, can I see the pot? Can I see that pot? Yeah, they're showing me the pot.
Okay.
And the image is changing. It's more like an embryo in there, It's a shadow of light. Can a shadow be light? It's kind of like a figure that's light, but it's like that.
Yeah. And it needs to stay in the pocket, stay safe in there.
No, I have it. I have it.
Yes,
but
in
it's
general,
in the pod.
before.
It's in the pod.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would just let us stay with this part and see what we can learn about it. Okay.
Yep, that's okay. Yeah, they've been trying to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. We'll try also. We'll try with our own style of curiosity and just see what comes up. How do you feel towards that part in the pod right now?
Curious.
Okay. Yeah, see if you can let it know that. Let it know also that you see some things about it. You see that it's in a pod. You know that it's been in a pocket. And that it has an opportunity now to meet with you or speak with you. And then it can tell you or show you whatever it wants.
Okay. So I am getting an image. There were something about there were two, and the light. How do I describe that? The light is coming from something that seems like, when the water comes up out of a sprinkler, the light is coming up. It's like coming out of a sprinkler, and it's coming in waves. And it comes up, goes back down, and up and back down. Like pulsing.
And something seems like two, like it seems like two parts.
Yeah, something about two. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we told it could show us however it wants. So
even if it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense? That's okay. We'll like I said, just collecting data.
Okay.
Do you have any other images, memories, sensations it wants you to know about it?
So I'm getting the impression that it's bigger than it looks.
Yeah.
It's larger than it seems. Probably older than it seems.
And those other parts mentioned that it had some sadness.
Yeah.
If you check that out with it.
Yeah, it doesn't want to go there.
Okay. That's fine. You might let it know that one thing we can offer it is kind of its own space. So if it has a place it would like to kind of stretch out or just somewhere more comfortable, you can kind of put it there and let it design that space any way it wants.
Yeah, I feel like the stretching out part is kind of vertical. It's kind of like standing. And happy to be standing.
All right. Yeah. So how did it like being in the pod, and how long has it been in there?
Said it was miserable, and how long? 17 years.
Okay.
There's a lot of waves of light associated with this.
Okay.
And then they change shape and they change how they present.
Yeah. So it is bigger than it seems, and it does have all this to show you.
Oh. Doesn't want to talk about the sadness, but it has a gift. There's a gift. Which I think has something to do with all the light.
Is that gift like the part itself is gifted? Like it is the gift, or Is it something it received
there's
from
giggling, but
else?
there's giggling, but I don't think it's coming from that.
Okay.
So where's the giggling? There's like little ones running around giggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does it want you to know about that gift? Where did it get it? Who's it for?
I feel like it has to do with steering and direction.
Mm-hmm.
Has a lot to do with the light. And like all the little ones got in behind. And now it's like driving. It's like driving me and all these little ones, little giggly ones.
Okay. And is that something it wasn't able to do? Was that something it also like couldn't express when it was kind of trapped for the 17 years in the pod?
Right.
Hmm.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you can't do this in a pod.
Yeah. So what's its motivation? Where does it want to go with the little ones?
It's taking me.
Yeah.
It's taking me
Uh-huh.
into the future.
Okay.
But the little ones are just coming along.
Okay.
And they're very giggly.
Okay. How's it feel for you? This is a new experience.
Yeah. I'm not in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Why does it want to go to the future with you and the little ones?
That's what it came for.
That's the gift.
Wow. Off I go then.
Okay. Is the traveling, is it getting away from something or is it going towards something?
It's
If that
going
makes any
towards.
sense. Okay.
Yeah. It's towards. It's been a long road. But it's the last third. If that makes any sense. So the journey is 2/3 behind and 1/3 ahead.
Mm-hmm. Does this part feel like it's like responsible for the little ones? Does it feel like it kind of protects them or shepherds them?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a protector part?
I don't know. Does it feel like it has, when I was imagining it kind of being trapped, and that was my words, not yours. I was thinking, okay, this is an exile part, but then when I hear that when it's kind of driving around younger parts, then it makes me think maybe it has some protective qualities, and it's also normal for parts to sort of be both. So, but yeah, it wants to get those little giggly
I think it
ones
was
to the
protecting
future.
the little giggly ones.
Yeah.
It was definitely hanging out with them.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, everything is so much looser. Like there's no constriction. The space between us feels really nice.
Does it want you to know anything about the little ones or its relationship to them?
The relationship is almost like they're one in the same, but then the one driving is the one in charge.
Mm-hmm.
What it wants me to know. Well, those giggles have been waiting a long time.
Uh-huh.
The giggles have been wanting to get out a long time.
Okay. Yeah, and what do they need? What's been stopping them?
This shell.
Right.
The pod. They were trapped, they said.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm remembering correctly, the pocket it came from belonged to maybe the cleaner upper part.
Yep, it was.
Okay.
It was the left-hand pocket of the cleaner upper.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. What does this part think of you? Like, how old does it think you are? Does it recognize you as having any ability to help out in any way?
I feel like this part knows that I am self.
Mm-hmm.
And is happy to be taking me. Yeah.
And does it have any ideas about self's leadership qualities? Does it have any like understanding of that or trust in that?
Mm. I feel like this is the answer is yes, but this is I'm going to use the word bridge, but that's not really what they're showing me. It's more like a rope. So it's my line. It's my line between where I am and where I'm going, how I'm going to get there.
Okay. And it's important that the giggly parts are close by and free to be themselves in that journey.
Yes.
Hmm.
So the giggly parts are like going inside of pockets and stuff and going in and coming out and giggling. Now the cleanup part and the wall are still back there.
Yeah. Do they have any input, or do they have any thoughts about what's taking place here?
It's a little bit like shaking their heads.
Okay. Can you translate?
Kind of like when you're like, I didn't see that coming.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And So the guy that was in the space behind the wall sort of like melted. It's all melting. But it's not messy because it's contained.
Still contained. Okay.
It didn't leak out. It's in that space.
Okay. Yeah. So we didn't quite get to know what he was about, and we also navigated around the sadness of any of the parts, which is fine.
Yeah.
We can do that. That was with their that's what they requested.
So the space that the guy was sitting in, because that melted down and became level, and then closing kind of like a box. But the wall is one part of the lid. And it kind of went. If I'm
Okay. Yeah, do you have any intuition, insight around what this elderly talking man is about?
No. No, but when you said that and I started thinking about it, and for some reason my eyes started burning and they weren't even open, so that was weird. Something like intuition, if I were to say intuition about what that was, I feel like may have had something to do with my older brother. He's never been real stable, and he is confined for his own good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's getting out.
Okay.
But he's not in jail. He's in a where they can keep an eye on things.
Okay.
Yeah, that almost feels like that's closing. You know, that's why it melted down and became no more. And the box once, like I said, the wall is part of it.
Yeah.
Now the interior of that room is still metal or steel. So when that box closes, it's encased in.
And that will keep you be more closed off from your access.
Yeah. Between me and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the wall is trying to protect. I wonder if the wall can tell you more about who exactly it wants to protect. Does it want to protect these little ones, the giggling ones? Does it want to protect some part of you that it has a concern about?
Well, someone had to do something, is kind of the impression that I get, to do something. And I feel like just putting up a wall wasn't enough, that it had to be contained to contain him.
And is any of this related to, for example, the parts in the pod or the sadness of the parts in the pod?
That question felt really uncomfortable, and none of the
Okay.
parts wanted to respond.
Okay.
So
They don't have to.
I'm asking if there's any parts that might want to.
That's fine. And thank you for speaking for them that way.
No, there are no parts that want to.
Okay. Totally fine. So what feels right for you next?
Well, I keep going through my sessions, right? And then I never really have a resolution. I don't know if other people do or not. But I feel like, so here I am, I have this part and all these giggly parts, and I'm heading off into the future, but I feel like it's not time for me to know where I'm going yet.
Okay.
Which is the same that kind of happens with the other ones, because they come out and they come with me, and we had the whole wagon train going for a while. This one's not going to do the wagon train, he says. We're not going to the prairie, we're staying on the road. Very direct line. And we're using the car.
Yeah. Maybe you could learn more by asking what the part wants or needs from you.
Oh, okay. So there's the only thing I got from that, and I don't know if it came from the part, but there's a saying that goes, sit down, shut up, and hold on.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the response that I got. Like, do you need from me? It's like, sit down, be quiet, and hold on.
Would it feel okay to ask this part how old it thinks you are?
This part knows that it knows my age.
Okay. When you mentioned it was taking to the future, I heard, some emotion coming through, and I'm still curious about that, kind of how that felt for you, that idea of going to the future with the part.
Scary. It's just scary going into the future.
I'm
starting a new business, James.
Oh.
I'm doing personal development through my horses.
Wow. Okay.
Because, I kind of did that. Like, it all blends together for me, right? My horsemanship and the relationship and things like that you develop through that. And then the relationship that we develop with ourselves in personal development. And they really overlap so much. And there's so much that we can learn from exploring our relationship with the horse and the horse's relationship with the world, and with each other. So, yes, I've been wanting to do that forever and put it off. But now that I'm retired, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just getting started.
And there's some scary future aspect around thinking about all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I scheduled 3 clinics in April. Wow. The 1st, 3rd, and 4th weekend of April.
Huh. I'd love to know more about that sometime. We don't need to go there now, but it sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm. And excuse me, I'm just kind of doing that like one day at one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So, because if I, it's kind of a big concept in my head, about how everything plays out, but that gets too overwhelming. So I have to do like just a small piece at a time,
Mm-hmm.
That way I can manage it more.
Okay. So the driving part says it doesn't need, it says sit down, hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What about any other parts? Do the giggling parts need something from you? Or want something from you?
Feel like they are looking at me like a caregiver, like a mother figure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yes, they do want something from me. They want to be cared for and protected.
All right. And do you have any idea what that might look like as it comes from self compared to a part?
Yeah, I was just wondering that because they feel kind of apprehensive about what my answer is.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I ask myself what the answer is, I'm like, well, I don't fully understand what you expect from me.
Yes.
I'm willing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing, but what is it that you expect?
Yeah, I think that's a great response, And
yeah, they're like, tuck
mm-hmm.
us in. Tuck us in at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the little things. They want to be tucked in at night and they want to feel safe.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do that.
Yes. Yeah. That's such a common, responses like that are so common with young parts. Yeah, they, that's what they are missing is a little daily hello.
Yeah.
And they do have a lot to show us, and sometimes there's a lot deeper work or deeper understanding we can have from them. But if they felt distant, sometimes that is kind of a really great first step. Is just, okay, well, I can do little check-ins and do little good nights, if that's what they're asking for.
Yes.
And over time, learn more, see more if they want to show you. And sometimes they don't need much more.
Yeah, it does feel like, it's the little things. At this time, it doesn't need to be anything real traumatic or overly grandiose or anything.
Mm-hmm. And do the protectors of theirs feel okay with letting you take that on?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, earlier you were asking about like resolutions and where do you end up with parts, and
yes.
Yeah, when what they need is to be checked in on regularly, that's, again, sometimes that's the resolution. That's it. It's just that having that kind of relationship compared to not having a relationship, or one where they're locked away.
So I checked in with the messy part and the wall. I looked back at them, and the messy part was kind of like that pocket is empty. The mop has little, the old style mops where they had like the long, I want to call them hair, like the long spongy thing. They weren't even sponges. They were like wound hair or something, whatever they were. There's something about all of that and about that mop.
Yeah. So does it?
The messes that it's been cleaning up, it has like secrets. Secrets is the word.
I bet. Yeah. If it's been doing the cleaning up, then it.
Yeah.
It gets to see the secrets. It gets to see the things that were left out.
I think it's like pushing the mop at me, like, here.
Yeah.
Because it like checked its pocket where that pod had been living. And now it's like, here's the mop. That has all the stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a feeling like this part has some more trust in you and says, okay, well, the way I was dealing with all these other parts was mopping them up, but maybe you can take a look at
that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can.
And I look at the mop and I'm like, oh, that looks exhausting.
Yes, yeah. It can be. It can take a lot of energy, and I think ultimately it can bring us all the energy also when we're as we come to kind of assimilate and integrate and get parts in a happy place.
That's nice.
Where they're free to be themselves and not having to shut each other out. Sometimes I think the result of that can be some real energy back, among other things.
Yeah. Well, that feels really nice.
Okay. Any other parts have any requests or concerns? Anything we skipped over?
No, but I think over maybe the next little while, I need to check in with those boxes and maybe take a look at this mop because I don't think the cleaner upper wants it back.
Yeah.
He's like leaving it with
journey.
Me. Yeah.
Yep. Just getting to understand ourselves, our parts. And sometimes if it gets too messy, we might need to call in the cleaner upper. Or, these other parts are still valuable and important members also. But they might be freed up to do something else. Maybe the cleaner upper wants to have a break.
I think he definitely wants to have a break.
Nice.
He's been doing all the cleaning up.
Okay. Well, as always, my prescription is more IFS.
Yes. I do have another appointment scheduled for not too long from now. Long from now.
Great.
Yes. So,
okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll look forward to that because
me too.
That should be an experience. And,
always.
Well, good luck with your planning.
Okay. Good luck with your business. And I'm going to message you and I'd love to hear more about it.
Okay. That sounds good.
Cool.
All right. I'll talk to you later, James.
Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
So, do you have any parts you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with?
Yes, I do. So the last time when we spoke, there was the part that was cleaning up, always cleaning up the messes.
That's right.
And when we left that conversation, he had handed me the mop.
Yeah.
And the mop had all kinds of little pods on the end of it instead of, spongy things that you would use to soak messes.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I was checking in earlier with my parts, and and the mop was there, and the little pods at the end of the mop were kind of like bopping around, and I don't know, wanting to come out or express themselves or something. Right now, it seems like some of them are kind of like shy and hiding in the back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're like, you go, and they're pushing the other ones in front of them.
Okay. Well, nobody has to go. Cool. So the mop cleaner upper part is still eager to have you around and looking at
yes.
what. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Well, we can go any way we like, and no parts have to do anything. This is just a chance for them to be seen, be heard, share anything they want about what's going on for them.
All right. Kind of trying to feel that out. And it seems like, I'm asking like, what is it that you want to express? And I feel like they want to come out. What is it that I need to know? What is it that you need from me? I'm trying to find something that they're willing to answer at this time, or that they're able to.
Would it help to flesh them out a little more? Would it help to just notice whatever you currently notice about their energy, or how that kind of shows up in you?
So today, and like right now, it feels like excitement. It's like kind of exciting.
Mm-hmm. Is that they're excited, or you're feeling just excited about getting to know them?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, because that's my next question is, my next question is usually, how do you feel towards the parts?
I do feel excited about, Okay. I'm curious. I'm excited and curious.
Great. Me too. Yeah. You could just let them know that you're curious and eager to learn about them.
Yes.
But again, that they don't have to do anything. And if they do want to share something with you and keep it private, it doesn't have to be shared with me.
Okay.
And my next question is usually, what do you want me to know?
Well, now I feel like they're a little hesitant, and they want some trust.
Okay, great.
I'm like, okay, I understand that. So I'm trying not to put any pressure, in that direction or anything like that.
Yeah. What can we do to build trust? Or what concerns do they have?
They were like, oh, concerns. We're allowed to have concerns?
1,000%.
The mop is dirty.
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Dirty because it's just got so many parts and stuff picked up in it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. And that's kind of where they've been hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how that's been for them.
Messy.
Mm-hmm.
So they seem to be separating and wanting some clean water to kind of wash in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, could you wash the mop somewhere else? But they're not sure if there's somewhere clean enough to wash the mop, like separate enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you can invite any of them into their own kind of space. So if they want to hop out and jump in the pool or whatever's comfortable for them. And again, they still don't have to do anything. We're not telling them that they have to do something once they get there. But if they'd like a more comfortable space, that's something you can offer.
Okay. Yeah, some did, but some are kind of hanging on to the mop. And I took it and I kind of put it in a big bucket of solution that would be friendly for them, but clean up the mop.
Yeah.
So I used a special solution and I'm swishing it around and they're kind of hanging on as I'm swishing.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty common for parts that have felt stuck somewhere to require a process, to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And usually that process, I find, is just really understanding how they got there, what it's like for them, all about them, what they would rather be doing, etc. So,
okay.
If some of them want to hang on and aren't ready to do that, that's okay. If some of them are ready for a new space and to be more known by you, that's fine too.
Yeah, a couple of them from the pool started introducing themselves.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they can show up however they want. They can let you know whatever they want.
A lot of my parts seem to be male.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just noticed that seems to be a theme repeated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, often they're the protectors.
Right.
There's the extra.
These ones feel like they're really noticing you, and they're happy that you're around.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Great.
And then the next thing that I thought was they don't want to be in my pocket, and then one jumped in my pocket.
Okay. It's interesting because in our last call, I think they were hanging out in the cleaner upper pocket.
And, oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wonder if your pocket is a fun, safe place, and the cleaner upper is a go away hide place.
Maybe.
If there's a difference there.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll just try to learn whatever you can learn about them, what it's been like for them, how they got there, what they want you to know about themselves.
Okay, they're not sure how they got there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a mess, and they got swept up in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could just validate that. Just say, I get it. I've seen this other part, this cleaner upper part. We've gotten to know the cleaner upper part, and it all makes sense that that's their experience, and you can see how that has been hard for them.
Yeah. I asked them if they wanted to stay there where they were, and I feel like I kind of got like deer in the headlights, like, well, what else? What are the options?
Yes.
But I always say, what are the options?
Yeah. I think the options are, if they stay with you, the options are kind of unlimited in what you can do for them. And I know that that's a lot easier said than done, and they don't might not have trust about that, but it's something that we can kind of show them in the way that you work with them.
Yeah, some of them have not left the mop yet, and some of them are over in or by the pool, the water. I feel like when I started expressing that there were options, that they don't necessarily want to be real close with me, but they thought that a box, they could go into somewhere that would be cozy.
Yeah, I think that's a great first
together.
step.
Yeah, and together. You want to be together.
Creating that cozy place for them. And if it's a box, that's great. But if it's a box with a couch and a TV and nice food, whatever they want.
Yeah. No, it's one with a clean mop.
Yeah.
They're okay with the mop. They just would rather have a clean one.
Okay.
They're kind of happy little campers.
Okay.
For the most part, I think.
You can check it out with them.
The
Are they happy? And
sunshine feels good.
Yeah. And is there anything not happy that they want to share with you or that you can help with?
Let me see. The ones that stayed with the mop. Like everybody kind of looked that way, Yeah.
They're thinking that there's some of the ones that still could use your help or still aren't so happy. Okay.
Yeah, they just want to rest, I think.
Okay.
I pulled them up out of the water and put it in the sun.
Okay. How do you feel towards those ones that are still on the mop? Is that the same feeling towards them? Curious and excited?
No, it's kind of sad and curious. Kind of, I don't know if sad's the right word. Somewhere that's kind of neutral.
Okay. Anything else you're noticing or any other direction that feels right for you?
Well, some of the other parts that we talked to before are kind of like on the outskirts. And they're curious. They kind of want to come over a little bit and watch and maybe interact.
Are these the ones that already had the pool experience?
No, these are ones that we talked to that we've met before.
Right. Like the cleaner upper and the
wagon train ones and yeah.
Great.
Yeah. They're really curious.
Great. Yeah, if it feels right, invite them in. And if it feels right to the ones that wanted to rest.
Yeah.
Check with them if that's.
Everybody kind of feels like there's an invisible fence. So they're they're all maintaining some distance, but awareness and curiosity of each other. And for some reason, the wagon train ones, the ones from before, seem like they've been waiting for these others.
Yeah.
I think that's what their curiosity is. They've been waiting for this.
Yeah. The wagon train ones, they had their time and got to share their burdens and kind of be unburdened through our work with them.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're sending that message, or
Right.
looking for their siblings.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like somebody in the wagon train needs attention.
Okay.
They're in the back, and as I make my way over there, it's just kind of like a darker energy.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more dense, a little bit heavier.
How do you feel towards that one?
I don't want to intrude or be, intrusive. But I am going up towards that area.
Right. Yeah. So all things you can let it know. You notice that it's dark and dense feeling and that you don't want to intrude, but you're curious.
Yeah, that seems to be good. That's okay. I don't know why, but it's like my foot got run over by the wagon train. That's what they were concerned about.
Okay.
But
I wonder. I would assume that's some message that they're wanting to send you.
right.
It's like we said last time, they can show up however they want. It doesn't have to make sense. And they're allowed to have concerns.
I think that the foot thing is because I say, well, what do you need? And it's like, well, I need attention.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can get some attention.
That's right.
All right. So I'm just kind of propping up the leg, and sitting down next to this part and sort of telling stories, reading a book, telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's looking for attention. It's looking for time. It missed out on time.
Missed out on time.
Yeah. Well, because all parts should get attention, right?
Yes. Yes.
All parts should get attention.
As much as they want. Some parts don't want a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
This one wants more.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So I don't think it's about the foot at all.
Yeah. And if it wants to be more specific about what kind of attention it would like, or anything it wants to show you.
Well, that part seems to be all good with this, but the other parts kind of feel like, well, hey, kind of like somebody handed you a lollipop and then everybody else was like, I didn't know there were lollipops, kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah. And that's common. That's common too. Well, sometimes a lot of parts want attention.
Yeah.
And often in my work, I'm handing out lollipops to everyone.
Uh-huh.
As just kind of, okay, I see all these parts that want attention. And I want to acknowledge all of you. And also, I know that I can do my best, most efficient work if I have some alone time with one. So usually I'm kind of asking who needs my attention the most, or just using intuition to pick one.
Yeah. This specific group has a lot of camaraderie, because remember, every time we met another part, they wanted to go with the group. And so the one with the foot problem is allowing me to stand up and touch and high five and, just rub somebody's shoulder or give them a hug. And yeah. So they're all feeling better because I was able to turn to them and acknowledge each one.
Yes.
And then come back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now they all just want to sit down and listen to the book, the story.
Okay. Is that what the hurt foot one wants?
The hurt foot one is okay with that. It almost seems like everybody sat down so that all the feet are in the middle and the feet are touching.
Okay. It's interesting you talking about reading a story, and with parts last time you talked about tucking them in.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. They like attention. They like to snuggle and be acknowledged.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah. I do that for parts of mine that need it, and not every part needs a lot of inquiry and has a long story to tell. There's other questions I could suggest, like the one that felt like it needed attention. Is there a reason, and this is kind of between you and the part, is there some reason why this one felt like it got left out or needed more time? Is there some way to keep that from happening in the future? Does this part want to see, I'm just kind of thinking,
right,
for future, if it has any requests around how you do this.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this part, like when I check in, this part doesn't come forward.
Right.
So I need to go through the group to the back.
Yeah.
I'm checking back here. It's not just about the ones in the front.
Right. Is there anything else it wants you to change about its environment or to know about it?
Once more coconut.
There you go.
It likes its alone time, but it wants some special attention. I think the coconut is a sign of special attention. It's very specific. It's not real common. Not everybody.
Right. Not everybody appreciates how good the coconut is.
Exactly. I get that though. I like coconut. I'll bring coconut.
Yeah. Anything else it wants from you now or in the future?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. It seems quite content. But I did pass out strawberry ice cream cones. But this part got coconut ice cream.
Okay. How about the mop clinging parts? Are they observing this? Do they have any feelings about this? Should we turn back to them, or
I think we should, because I'm going to wrap things up and just kind of go back over that way. Because I think they're like scratching their heads over there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you might just show them that's the kind of thing you can do for parts.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be anything other than what parts want.
Yeah, the wagon parts are coming back over with me towards the water in the pool. But they're going to stay back a little bit, but they're coming over with me. They crossed over the invisible line from before.
Yeah, and how do the mop parts feel about having you present?
They feel pretty good about it, because I put my feet in the water and the water turned to petals. And they were all like, that was really cool.
It's really cool.
I think they all seem quite content. Trying to find out if there's any, like, I'm just kind of going through each part. Is there anything that I need to do or that you need from me? Well, the ones that stayed with the mop, let's see. Yeah, they're not ready to leave the mop, but they're wondering where the mop's going to go.
And previously, this was a mop that belonged to the cleaner upper part.
Yes.
But now that part's ready to let go of it.
Yes.
And so we're wondering what to do with the mop.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, what would these parts, how would they want to be if they didn't have to be swept up, mopped up? Can they envision or let you know, how they would like to be? How, where, with whom?
No, that's kind of closed. And it's like not available space, and almost very resolved type energy.
Yeah. They feel like this is what it is, and we have to kind of...
Well, they're just not ready to let go.
It's okay.
Well, that was a relief. They liked hearing you say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, these feel like parts that were kind of exiled. They were swept up, they were put away, kept in the mop, and there was a good reason why a protective part wanted to do that. They all have a story. They all have their experience and their memories and their associations, and none of it has to change any faster than they want it to change, or in any way other than that feels right for them.
Okay. Yeah, that feels a little better to them.
Yeah. And usually, again, I'm kind of sticking with curiosity as being that catalyst, the thing that helps them change in the way they want, is through self's just gentle asking, how's it been? What do you like? What don't you like? How'd you get here? What do you want me to know about you? What's been hard for you? And are there memories or scenes or times from our lives when something got activated, or you picked up a certain belief about yourself, or anything like that these parts feel okay sharing with you?
I don't think they're going to open up today, but I was jotting down what you were saying.
Okay, well, I've recorded it, so.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I know I packed a lot in at once. I guess I just wanted to invite them and just say there's infinite ways that we can be curious and inviting, and there's nothing that any part has to do.
Okay.
And I think it's great. It's the way that you are able to kind of continue where you last checked in, and yeah, just keep your awareness on parts and their kind of progress. That's huge, and it makes sense that other parts might want to kind of show them that. And that can often have an effect of, yeah, I work with this part and this other part feels better, because they're kind of seeing that work. So high five on that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's very interesting. It's very interesting getting to know them and then checking back in with them. And it was interesting that the one wanted some attention today and made up a little story about how to get it. I think for the most part, like there's 3 separate groups here.
Okay.
The wagon train group, and then the ones that got out of the mop and went to the pool, and then the ones that stayed with the mop. Now, the ones that stayed with the mop, I'm gonna put that like in the closet, because they want a space that's not real bright.
Awesome. Yeah, they've got their rose water, and they have a clean closet that's still not too exposed and too bright for them.
Right.
Yeah.
They seem to be happy for the other parts and ready to settle in. So
great.
That's good.
How about the pool parts? Do they have anything they need from you now, or that they want you to know about them?
Well, they're not really ready to go into that box that they asked me for. So do I leave them out and tell them to go in when they're ready? If they can come out tomorrow, they said they'll go in the box.
If they can come out and be known by you tomorrow?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's part of the trust building that they needed.
Maybe. So, of course, I'll say yes.
Awesome.
Note to self, check in with box parts.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. And that was kind of the first thing that came to my mind was as long as you can find them again, and then wherever you leave it is kind of okay. That, you know, it's a lot less disruptive to help parts move around if they know that tomorrow we'll pick up and figure out the next step.
Right. So here's how it feels. Everybody's going to camp here. The box parts are going to stay with the wagon train, but in the box.
All right.
And then the mop parts are going to be in the closet. But it's not too far away. They're all staying kind of in the same vicinity.
And it's a nice place where you can meet them again.
And it's a nice place where I can meet them again. That's right.
Awesome. Awesome.
That is very cool.
If you want, you could check back in with the cleaner upper part and just kind of update it with like, okay, here's what I'm doing with that permission you gave me to look after this mop. It might not need to know all the details, but
yeah, it doesn't seem to care, James.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. A lot of times those protective parts are really like relieved, and they, you know, they're the ones that were kind of caring for a part, and so they really want to be updated. And other times they're like, great, I'm done.
I have a lot of parts, I think. I feel like I do, that are just like, yeah, I'm done with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess that's not a bad thing, but it seems funny to just walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of surprisingly simple, and, you know, it's still something to always remain curious about. Are you really done? You know, I'll check back in a month or 6 months or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any other direction? Parts have any concerns, questions, anything else that would feel right?
No, but I feel like I do need to check back in with that mop part.
Yeah.
From time to time, because I think there's some kind of like a little evolution going on there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it just wants space.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of its concerns originally was just by doing this work, we would make a big mess. And
oh, yes, that's right.
You know, so far, although the parts, they're out and they're still settling, they're also in a place where you're able to keep an eye on them and revisit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I will do that. I'm going to make a note to check in with those parts tomorrow. So
Great.
And keep my word.
Awesome. I think you're doing really great.
Well, thank you, James. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting, you know, and it's interesting for me in you know, half the things you're saying, I don't know what it means for the foot to be run over, or you know what I mean? Like, and that's okay. It just doesn't have to all add up for me, especially, but you're seeing what you're seeing, feeling what you're feeling, and you're connecting with these parts in the way that they're requesting. And I think that's as good as anyone can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
they'll just show up the way they are, you know?
Yeah, as long as you're in that, as long as you're unblended from the parts that wanted to lock them up in the first place, then it's like I was saying earlier, the options, possibilities are endless.
Well, very cool.
Okay.
Well,
Anything else?
last week I had a part
Yeah?
that was driving me into the future. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, that one didn't come up tonight, but
Okay.
I have a feeling it's still around.
Yeah, that seemed important. I remember that. Had some emotional connection to that one for sure.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think that's it. I think I'm good for
Okay. Okay. Sounds good to me.
You send me a couple of dates when you might be able to come this way, or if you're going to come to the clinic, or whatever you want to do.
I will.
And
I will.
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Good work. Take care.
Right. Thanks, James.
Okay. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.